Do I have to do my usual dance? Are we live? Are we live? Okay.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Hello. Hi, Nick. You scared us because we thought we accidentally went live before we actually were going live, and we were a mess. But hello, Spooky Fam. We are here with Lex, who is the co-host of our movie nights. You guys might recognize her, and she has painted angels. So we're gonna spend the time to talk to her about her artwork, her paintings, and all the good stuff that she's been doing. I noticed that you have had a chance to do some book covers and all like that, so we're gonna
Yeah.
get into it. First and foremost, do you want to take time to introduce yourself and tell us how you got into choosing art?
Yeah. So I'm Lex of Lex's Painted Angels. I've had my business now for about 3 years. I actually started at the beginning of the pandemic. I
Oh,
was a cook at a pub.
mhm.
And then when we all kind of just lost our jobs, we weren't sure what to do. No one was. And a lot of people started working from home. And I decided to start my painting business. But I have been doing art since I was like a year old. It's just always been something that was naturally there for me,
Mhm.
especially because I go off of thoughts and memories and dreams and things like that, things I've seen. So it was always just naturally something that I felt was supposed to happen, and it finally has.
That's awesome. Did you always choose to do your own characters in your style now, or has your style kind of changed throughout the ages?
Well, my style's definitely changed,
Hmm.
especially with age and with environment changes, with
Hmm.
mood, with so many things that have happened throughout life. My style has changed, but I
Hmm.
have always done my weird little characters. I guess that they just have refined more as life
Right.
has gone on.
Right. Jenny's here in the chat, so I'm just gonna say hi to Jenny. If you don't know, she actually added you. She's another one of my friends who's an artist and who's been
Yes,
following your
she's so
work.
cool.
So
Love
she
you.
she understands the struggles of the art world like you do. So what do you think is your favorite pieces to paint? Like I know you mentioned something on your post a while ago about your paintbrush, right? Like you do everything from like memory or something like that. How does that
Yeah.
work? I know for me, from a writer's standpoint, I understand it, but I don't know from the painter's standpoint. So if you could enlighten us with that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do use a very thick flathead type of brush when I'm painting.
Mhm.
I failed like every single art class until I got to an alternative high school. I never wanted to draw and paint what they wanted me to. I would
Right.
like literally make an apple in the shape of people, like human beings, and I would fail everything because I just didn't. I wanted freedom in art
Mhm.
class. But when it comes to my memory and painting things, it's such a weird thing for me because it's like I have a terrible memory. I
Mhm.
can't remember anything. I can't remember what I ate yesterday. That's just how I am. But when it comes to like putting my hand to a sketch pad or a painting, it's like my hand has a memory
Right.
because I just create and like I'll get a
Mhm.
picture in my mind and I'll run all the way through it and it just translates to paper. I don't know how, but I
Right.
will say that when I was a kid, I didn't have like any art friends. Like now
Mhm.
I have a million, but I
Right.
did not when I was a kid. I was
Mhm.
always the weird art girl in class. And so all of my friends just thought it was magic. And
Right.
that's honestly, I agree because I'm not sure how I get it to translate.
Yeah, see, so that's an interesting um perspective though because it's kind of similar to me on the writing and the music side. It's kind of similar. Like when people ask how do you do that? It's just sometimes with some people it's a taught practice and then with others it's just we grew up doing this. Like I was the weird kid too that hung out with the weird art kids. That's probably why we get
Yeah.
along so well. But like I do more of the music and the writing and more of the sculpting. I can't draw worth crap. Now my brother can. He did these really badass bat wings for somebody and
Yes.
it was like in little dots and it
Oh, I
took him
love
3
that.
weeks to do and but he never went with it but
Yeah.
because he didn't feel it, and I feel like if you don't feel it,
Yeah,
it's hard
absolutely.
because like I think that's why like when I stumbled upon your art the first time, I was curious because at first I was like, this is weird. I'm like, but it in a good way though, not in a bad way. I'm like, this
Yes.
is weird.
Yes.
I'm
It's
like,
bizarre.
I'm like, okay. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm gonna lurk. But I think it's before we started actually like talking. And then I keep seeing it and I'm like, wow, she's telling the story and like the eyes of all the pieces. I think like you can tell that you're putting emotion into that. And
Yes.
so do you think like when it comes to bringing your characters, even the recreations of like cartoon characters like your Hey Arnold and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
do you think it's important to put a little bit of like the artists themselves into the recreations, kind of like for our reactions, we've been watching a lot of voice play and they put a lot of their
Yes.
own spin and emotion into it. Is it just the same for paintings as well, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Especially for me. I know that every
Mhm.
artist is different and maybe they don't feel the same way that I do, but anytime that I'm recreating a character, it always feels like I'm telling the story of them in my world. Like I have to
Right.
give them my eyes and I have to give them my movements and my signature moves that I do when I'm painting and just kind of like sculpt them into this weird world. Like I
Hmm.
love taking people to a different place. That's why I do a lot of the spacey backgrounds.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I put my mood in there majorly. You can like
Mhm.
tell from expression.
Oh,
And
yes.
then also, there's definitely a bunch of things where you're like, a lot of people will always say, like, I knew that you did that painting. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, cool. Well, that's good to know because I'm like, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what stood out when we were just in passing. I was like, this girl's art is standing out to me
Aw.
because you do have that unique touch to it. Now, some of them I'm just like, I have no idea where she came up with that in her head, but I dig it. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is so cool because, I never really paid too much attention to certain art things for me. It comes off a lot of times, like if I'm scrolling through, it's like, nothing against ours, but it's the same over and
Oh,
over. They're
yeah. It's
trying
repetitive.
too hard
Absolutely.
to be everybody else. So
Yeah.
like, do you have any advice for young artists that might be lurking on either the replay or watching this now? How do you stay with, like you have that idea, you want to recreate something, but you don't want to lose it to trying to be like others? You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
good to take influences, obviously, but how do you keep on track on staying yourself when doing that? Do you have any advice?
Yes, I definitely feel like people get caught up in the rat race,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're trying to sell your work online. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes, okay, I want to sell the things that other people want to buy. And if you see
Mm-hmm.
someone buying a whole bunch of something, you're like, okay, well, I have to do that too. If a movie comes out, you're like, I have to do that too. You feel like you have to keep up like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, however, excuse me, that you have to take a break from that sometimes. I notice a lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I will recreate characters for so long and then I'm like I lose myself in it. I'm like I feel like I'm not myself anymore and I
Right.
do start creating a bunch of crazy originals, but it seems
Mm-hmm.
like if you do that, if you like create a whole bunch of like things that you love, things that you know other people
Mm-hmm.
love, you put your spin on it, you bring them into your world and then you stop and you start creating all the things that you are thinking of in your mind and you're dreaming of in your mind, suddenly you're like 20 million times better because you
Mm-hmm.
had all of this practice on all of these other pieces that are just like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
suddenly when you come back to what you really want to create that is deep seated in there,
Mm-hmm.
it just comes out like you've never seen it before. I've noticed that so much with my work.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick says, I see most is all Coraline inspired with the eyes. I find that the most interesting part, but how do you come to choose those types of eyes?
That's a good question. So back in the day, I got in trouble a lot for my creations. I was a
Mm-hmm.
little bit darker back in my day, and I never really painted eyes or drew eyes into my work at all.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I always just had a blank space there, like the skull was open, and it would freak people out a lot. Or I would have eyes stitched shut. I would never
Mm-hmm.
use eyeballs. So I love like the soulless type of look. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I was like, I love creepy, but I love cute. I was thinking of bubbles and I was thinking of buttons and I was thinking of all of those things that I could replace eyeballs, marbles, things like
Mm-hmm.
that, things that are soulless. And I kind of started doing my little like stars in the eyes. And then eventually I started accentuating them a little bit, and they became more bubbly looking. So that's really how it came to be. It was a lot of trial and error, but
Hmm.
also a lot of how do I give these character and kind of give them a soul, but still leave them soulless.
That's an interesting story though, because I never knew you did like the empty. You never told me that side, so I feel like I'm learning more about
Yeah.
you too. Morgana Freya's Magic says hello. They had to make an account, so hi.
Hi, love
How
you.
you doing? If you guys have any questions, please type in the comment section and I can pull them up and she can read them right on the screen. So we're going through that. Jenny, hi Jenny. She says she admires how quickly you create because when she works, it tends to be a little slow.
I understand. Um, oh my gosh, I'm really fast, and I almost don't like saying that because I feel like then people are like, well, you should be able to create super fast then, because I could finish an entire 24 by 30-inch painting in like 4 hours, maybe
Mhm.
two. Like I can go really hard. I could finish a smaller one in like 20 minutes.
Right.
However, it is so important to remember that we are human beings, and I don't remember that often. I think that
Mm.
I'm a machine and from another dimension or something, because I
Mm.
will stay up forever going, but don't even don't even be hard on yourself if you feel like you're slow. If you see someone spitting out so much, don't even think that you're slow. I think that you should think that you take breaks, you care about your mental health, you probably get a good night's sleep sometimes. And those things are really important because I stay up a really long time and I should not. So it's important to work slow,
Mm.
I feel.
I completely relate to that aspect, even with the stuff that I do. Like, there's times when I'm up until like 3, 4 in the morning, and then
Yes.
I'm crashing, and then I have the family business that I help with, and then I do this, and the other thing.
Oh, the
But
crash is always so hard.
I don't recommend people doing that.
No,
That's one thing you should take from us. Don't do that.
don't do that.
Morgana has a question for you. What inspires you the most emotionally and spiritually?
Oh my goodness. Emotionally, well, I've been through so many things in my lifetime. I will be 33 next week, but those 33 years feel like much, much longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like emotionally, I'm always pulling from all of the difficult places. If I go into a darker work, that's usually because I'm pulling from that space. I dealt with domestic violence and things like that. And a lot of that you will see in my darker ink pieces. When it comes to my paintings, I also have a light and fluttery side. I might be kind of dark, but I'm also super whimsical and joyous. And I just enjoy so many things. And I want to see my creatures magical yet creepy. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to pull things into a different world like you never imagined. Like my new Santa pieces, they're all pretty
Yes.
creepy. And a lot of people have been telling me they've never seen something like that before. So, and then spiritually, um, I'm the type of person that really pulls from like Mother Nature and the universe. Those are the entities that I truly put a lot of my time and efforts into. So if you ever see any messages in my work, um, you would probably see them coming from anything that has to do with the universe. I
Mm-hmm.
just love bringing all of it in.
Yeah. I definitely notice a lot of the nature stuff because that's something that I'm close to. That's why I'm not a city person. So when I see that in your work and you
Yeah.
you bring like the nature to life and weird creatures, that kind of stuck out. I noticed you were working on Christmas ornaments as well.
Yes.
Recently
Oh
you
my gosh,
posted.
so many.
They were looking cool and like that also comes from like, like you said earlier, how being an artist, you gotta pay attention to the stuff that people want to buy, but you also
Yeah.
gotta promote now, and you gotta self do this and self do that. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. What I'm just going off of some comments that I got previously. I know a lot of people are saying, I don't understand where creative people are coming from, where artists they get so mad they have to promote their own work. I can tell you, as somebody who's studied promoting and doing creative at the same time, it's two different worlds.
Oh yeah.
So when you're telling these artists, such as Lex and Jenny and the many others out there that I'm friends with, oh, I don't understand your frustration. I do, because I've seen both worlds and I've worked both sides. It's a
Hmm.
completely different world. And is there any advice, like there's one fan that's really shy, so she doesn't want me to tell her name, but she is burning out because she's been focusing too much on her promotion. Do
Mm,
you ever go through that, and have you figured out ways to work through that as an artist? Because we are in the social media age, we constantly have to do this, that, and the other thing. She's suffering art wise, she's getting this art block, she's
mm,
constantly feeling like now when she goes to put her brush down, because she's been doing too much of the promo side, her art's coming out what she's calling cold. She no longer
mm,
feels. Have you ever dealt with that? Like random, like, like you said, you're working around the clock and she does the same thing. However, once that happens and that burnout happens, it's just cold. She can't touch anything. She can't even spiritually, everything turns off. Have you ever
hmm.
dealt with that? And is there ways that artists can deal with that, being self-employed and stuff like that? Because like I said, it's two different worlds dealing with,
It
and you
is.
got to understand, when we're in art mode, it's a completely different world, and I can't give her advice because I'm not a painter, so I will leave that to you, my dear.
Oh man. Well, that is a very heavy feeling, and I understand exactly where she's coming from.
Mhm,
I have been in that place so many times in the last 3 years. It's so hard when you're running a business and you're doing what you love. The thing that you love becomes your business, and then it
mhm,
doesn't feel like the thing that you love anymore. It feels like you're losing grip of it, and you're not doing it for yourself anymore. You're doing it for other people, you feel. But you have to take a moment to really sit with yourself, and I mean actually sit down. I don't If you're meditative, if you're spiritual in any way, just sit down, take a deep breath, and remember that it is really, really hard to be your own secretary, be your own painter, be your own organizer, all of that stuff. And make a list. I had to get a planner specifically for my business. Make
mhm,
sure that you're posting at certain times, but don't be too hard on yourself if you don't make these times. But I would say, I at least try to make 3 posts a day so that my
mhm,
business can grow. Maybe a 7 a.m., a 3 p.m., a 7 p.m., just whatever
mhm,
you're comfortable with. Give yourself space, but also make sure that you're making your goals.
mhm,
Um, Definitely give yourself a limit on when you answer messages. I tend to not do that,
mhm.
but sometimes you can make that sale at 3 a.m., but
Yeah.
definitely try to give yourself some time and some grace and just work yourself on a schedule more,
Mhm,
because if you're just go 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 promoting, it's not that helpful. It's
mhm,
really not. Once you have a creation done, post it. Don't post it too late, don't post it too
mhm,
early, but make sure that you get it out there. But give yourself time, try to get done at least 3 pieces a day, and if you feel like you can squeeze more in, do it. But
mhm.
just going with the promotion, oh my gosh, it'll wear you out.
Absolutely. Chris, or not Chris, sorry, Chris just texted me that he's at work. He's stuck today, so hi, Chris.
Aw.
Nick said, when you're on 30 different social medias and trying to share your work, it's super overwhelming. What I do is stick to two main ones and really interact with people on both of those. That's some really good
Yeah.
advice, too.
Yeah.
Um, I agree with the whole setting yourself a schedule to be the business version of you, and then the
Yes.
the the time to be the artist version of you, because I think a lot of people don't understand the music and art world is looked down upon a lot. Not so much as it used to, but a lot. People do not see us as small businesses. They see us as, oh, what are they doing with their life? It happens a lot. A
Yeah.
lot of judgment, especially when I was doing the special effects for haunted houses and stuff, and horror acting. People are like, what are you doing? That's nothing. Look, I don't pick on you for your job. As long as you're not hurting anybody, what do you care?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, not everybody is like that. So, you get all these people being judgmental about it, and it's really difficult, and that's why it's really good to spend time and talk with your artist friends and
Yes.
get to understand more. And that's what we're hoping to get out of this interview too, is you see, like, we're humans,
Hmm.
we're doing
And
cool
there's no
things.
need to make it harder on yourself. I feel like
No.
sometimes we make it hard on ourselves. This is what we love to do. Have
Mm-hmm.
fun, get out there, build yourself a schedule, because I didn't for a long time and that
Mm-hmm.
was a big fail.
Yeah. And see, I think like that's the whole thing about building these communities with content creation.
Hmm.
You know, that's why, like, look, we're building, me, you, and Nick, we do our movie nights. We're slowly but surely bringing a community full of creative people, and it's been helping everything. I've noticed on your slasher, you've been getting a lot of stuff for your horror art. Now, I know you can't show a
I
lot of the
love
horror art right now,
slasher.
but I'm so happy you found success with that. I saw that you did some book covers. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, or like what's
Yeah,
going on
so
with
my
that?
first book cover, I painted this like goat man. I saw him in a dream. I was inspired. I painted this goat man. He ended up getting bought for digital rights. This man asked me if he could please be his book cover, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait to read your book." I didn't even care what was in the book. I'm like, "Oh yeah, go on and take her." And then I sold the painting. And
Mm-hmm.
then I had someone else come to me and ask me to paint a horror Western cover. And that was very out of my element, but
I know.
it was super fun.
When I saw that you posted that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is something new. But I'm like, that's so cool because I'm like, wow, a
It was so
challenge.
crazy. I was like out of my element, but we're going to do this.
Yeah, we're rocking with it.
But I freehanded that.
Mhm,
Like that's what I do. I freehand. So it was
mhm.
interesting to see what the Western people. Sometimes I'll accidentally paint people's faces I know. Like I said,
Yeah,
hand
like
memory.
you sent me mine.
I
Yeah,
literally painted Heidi's face, you guys. I was like,
she
oh
did.
my gosh, like, oops. I'm like, hopefully she doesn't find this creepy.
No, I didn't. I didn't find it creepy.
I do that a lot though.
Mhm.
I do that by accident a lot. Yeah.
Oh, I know, Nick. We need to see. It's in the other room, and I'm scared if I open the door right now, all the dogs are gonna start barking and ruining our show. I will post a picture of the photo she did of me, or not photo, but the painting she did of me. It's with my braids. It's really cool. She sent it with the painting I got. Uh,
Yes.
Nick says, "Oh yeah, I get people calling my music shitty, and I should quit, etc." from other music artists. I feel flattered because that means my music might be sounding better than they're actually letting on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jenny says the Wednesday one looks like me.
Oh my
The
gosh, that's so funny.
but,
I
but
love that.
yeah, you know, it's difficult when people call your artwork or your music or whatever you're doing crap, you know, because they don't
Oh yeah.
understand
I
from
get
like
that a
our point.
lot.
Well, yeah, do you find it really hard because whimsical and all that kind of stuff is actually a very unique niche of art. Like even in the
Yeah.
special effects world, my friends who do more whimsical than I do, like I do straight up like creepy, like because that's just
Yeah.
my jam and it helps me, you know, get all frustrations out whatever. But my friends who do the whimsical, they say like it's really really tricky because people somehow look down on the whimsical, which I don't understand
Mhm.
because it's beautiful but dark at the same time. Do
Yeah.
you ever get like weird social media backlash for trying to mix
Oh
both
my
worlds? Like,
goodness.
do you have the communities
Both.
be like, you're not scary enough to be part of the scary, and you're not whimsical enough
Oh
to be
my
a part of the.
gosh. My art is so like all over the place, I feel. I feel like people sometimes don't know how to interpret. People
Mhm,
sometimes don't know how to connect.
mhm,
Um, I've had it online and in person. I've
mhm,
had people online who have definitely been like, this is absolutely the worst thing that I've ever seen, or this is scary. The eyes are creepy, things like that. But in person, this one lady came over to my booth when I was selling my art, and she was like,
uh-huh.
whoever painted these must have the sickest, most disgusting nightmares. They must be really effed up in the head. And I was like, I actually have really pretty dreams. My face was all red. I'm like, I actually have really pretty
Oh.
but yeah, I've gotten it from all over. And I feel like back in the day as an artist, because I hid my art for so long,
Hmm.
I literally I I would have cried. But like nowadays, I'm so comfortable with my art. It is literally all of who I am. So I don't even
Yeah.
care now when people are like get weird. I'm like, wow, you must like
I remember Morgana says she loves whimsical and spooky art.
yes.
If you guys are commenting, I'm trying my best to keep up as they show up for me. I'll put them up there. So if there's a delay, don't worry, we'll get to you. Um, I remember being a kid and all that stuff, and like we've talked about my grandfather being kind, not nice, and
Yeah.
I've learned to do that towards my artwork too because he said my grandpa did not like any of the spooky stuff I was into. He was very old school from the old school Germany, did not
Yeah.
like it. He
My
liked
grandpa was
the
that way
pretty
too.
things. He calls the skulls dead heads and stuff. He did not like it. However, that man was so supportive of what I was doing. He's like,
Aw.
if you could handle my criticism, you could handle anybody out there. He's like, the thing is though, if you're gonna go into this world, he's like, remember that everybody's feedback matters because you're like, okay, wait, is are they saying, they're saying that, for yours there, oh man, this is awful. Well, you might have triggered her to look into something that she needs to fix. So he's like, everybody's
Mhm.
a critic. He's like, you just gotta roll with it. And I've learned to have tough skin.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't hurt any less when people say these things because we're
Oh
human.
yeah. It's hard
But
to deal with critique, especially when it comes to your own art.
yeah, but like you gotta remember, like, if your art isn't stirring up a little bit of feathers, are you really arting right?
For real. For
You
real.
know,
And you need to
like
come out of your shell.
I'm not talking about making art so disgusting or crude or anything like that, but I'm just saying if you're not getting people to think, I'm sure that
Yeah.
person that said that to you even stopped to think for a minute before they said that. You know what I mean? Like you definitely stirred up something to where they were like, "Oh my gosh," you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've had that happen when people would see like the little sculpt things that I would do and at the horror con tables and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that!" And then the very next day, they came back and bought some because they're like, "You know what? This made me remember something, and it helped me work through it." So, if you're out there and you're creating stuff, please just calm down and remember that
Yeah.
your biggest critics will come from people doing less than you, or
Yeah.
people who didn't have feel the confidence to step out of the shell and be open themselves. I'm not saying hate on them or be mean to them in any way. I'm just saying just be aware, like you gotta just let it go and kind of flow with it. Unfortunately, we
Dude,
don't live in a
yeah.
kumbaya world. Um, that does not excuse the bullying that artists and people get. Man, no,
Dude,
that
for
does not excuse
real.
that. For that, I would say roll up the sleeves and get ready to rumble. But
And never forget, no matter how many likes you get or
mhm,
reactions or whatever, there's always someone out there that's going to connect with you. And there are
mhm.
ghost watchers. There are
Oh
people that
yeah.
are too scared to even react that are still watching. I've gotten
Mhm.
messages from them buying paintings. They
Yup.
were like, I've always been too scared to like do anything on the feed, but I really love this painting. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm. Well,
ghost watchers.
I think mainly that's because social media has like confused the influencer
Hmm.
from the content creator and artist, right? That's like two different things. The influencer is
Yeah.
the look at me, notice me. They're gonna go to an Airbnb, trash it, and then, I'm not saying all of them. I have some friends who are influencers. This is not a shot at you guys, I know. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, the influencers have more of an attitude. The
Yeah.
artists and the content creators, we just want to hang with you guys. And it's two different things, but social media has warped the two now. So you get people that are um, nervous to
Yeah.
approach.
The
And we
lurkers.
got Kirby. Love your art, Lex.
Aw, thank you.
If you have any questions, Kirby, I will bring them up so she can answer them for you.
Yeah.
Um, but it's difficult when people can't tell the difference between the two though, and I think that really
Yeah.
hurts the art world of everything, you
Well,
know?
there are some foul artists out
Oh
there.
yeah. There's
You know,
in
I
everything, in everything, in
there is
everything.
a little bit of a clickiness sometimes, which stinks really bad. I always
Mm-hmm.
thought that artists were all like loving and open, and there are some that are
Oh,
dark, guys. Watch out.
oh yeah. And what have you learned from the experience of dealing with that? Like, have you learned how to like watch out more? Like, are there signs that young artists like I don't know if you're willing to talk about, but I know you said there was a previous time where you had tables and you found out the people weren't what they said. And
Yeah.
how do you know now what to look for, so in case there's other artists that are looking to host tables and stuff, like is there something that
Oh,
they should
yeah.
look for?
It's definitely, like you said, it's a completely different world. So there
Mhm.
definitely is a different world when it comes to the social media standpoint on that, and when it
Mhm.
comes to hosting tables,
Mhm.
because I have hosted tables, and um you just have to remind yourself that when you are going in for business, it is a business relationship.
Mhm.
And sometimes you think that there's friendship and there's not, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But you just need to keep in mind whenever you're hosting a table, keep it business. And that's really my standpoint on that, because
Mhm.
sometimes you think that friendship's involved and it can be hurtful. So
Mhm.
definitely protect your energy. We are business runners, so we are going to be more businessy. Um,
Yo.
but then online, it can be a little more difficult because people can do things without you knowing that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's social media, so there's a lot more hidden. It's not all
Yeah.
in your face. And so I have dealt with some other artists that weren't ended up not being the nicest people. I will
Mhm.
say though that be humble.
Mhm.
Some of the same people that have blocked me, that are artists that a lot of people that follow me also follow.
Mhm.
Um,
Of course.
yeah, a lot of them can be not nice people, but
Mhm.
even when they asked me for advice on how to run their businesses, when they asked me for advice on social media, I gave it to them
Yeah.
because why not? And
Yeah.
I hope that they're all doing well, and I hope that they continue to do well. I feel like we can all be friends and hold a space
Oh
together, and we're
yeah.
not always competition. But when it comes to running an art business, a lot of people think that you're a competition all of a sudden.
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely difficult because friends go from seeing you as the friends to the oh crap, she's gonna take away my people. But like you said, the same people that follow you follow them, and there's enough to
Yes,
go around. That's the one thing I like to
yes.
preach, guys. There is enough to go
And they
around.
probably have people I don't even have.
Yeah, so it's like there is enough to go around. So like I don't really understand the cattiness that happens. And you got like humbleness is top dog because there's always somebody more experienced than you that you can learn from. So instead of having that
Yes.
chip on your shoulder, you should be like, "Yo, I want to learn what this person's doing. Let's see
That's
if they'll mentor
exactly
me."
where it should be at.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mentorships,
Influence.
helping each other
Yeah.
cuz we're at the end of the day, we could be doing similar works, but different styles. We're not the
Yes.
same
I
unless,
never look at someone else's
you
work and I'm
know,
like, oh my gosh, they're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. Like if someone else is painting, I'm like, cool, they have their own style. I want to see them do good too. It's hard out
yeah.
here for an artist.
Kirby is asking what is your most favorite painting and why?
Oh my goodness. My most favorite painting. Can I show her on here?
Of
Maybe.
course.
Okay, hold on.
I don't mind.
She's actually going out to the person. Hasn't been boxed up yet, but definitely this hanging ballerina piece if you can
Mhm.
see her.
Yep, we see it.
Lights. There she is. Yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites. And reason why, I always, since I was like maybe like 7, I would sketch out these ballerinas hanging from hooks. I know it's so dark. Don't worry. I got sent to many places because of it. But I would always put hooks through their jaws and like coming out their mouth or their eye, and I
Mhm.
just thought that it was the sickest thing ever. So that painting is literally a representation of what I always used to do. I even have one of them tattooed on me. Can't
Oh,
really see it.
nice.
But
Yeah.
I drew that when I was like 16. So yeah, I love hanging ballerinas. I've seen them in my nightmares and they're really beautiful.
What's interesting to me is when I saw your hanging ballerina for the first time, I quickly made the connection because I had friends who actually did ballet and they would tell about how demanding it is to the body and how it's
Mhm.
hard to deal with. And you perfectly captured, I don't know if this was your intention or not, but you perfectly captured, like, I showed it to her and she's like, oh my God, that's exactly how it feels to be a ballerina sometimes because
Yeah.
it's very demanding. Plus, you have to look good and you have to weigh good and you have to do this good. And so she's like, how could she like pick that up right away? I'm like, I don't know if that was her intention, but I'll ask her for you. And I'm like, since she's been doing that forever, I don't think that was her intention, but the fact that you can reach people like that.
Well,
Um,
no, the fact that she said that is correct. My mom was a ballerina.
oh, there you go.
Yes, my mom was a ballerina, so I love that piece. Thank you.
And
Thanks,
Kirby
Sue.
says she loves it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like I think that's really cool though because like you're able to capture a lot of things that I don't think people think about, and I also think that's why you get people to first be off put because you're like, whoa, wait a minute, like how did she reach into what I'm feeling right now? And it
Yeah.
could definitely throw things off. Morgana says ballet is brutal, especially for your feet.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
so I
is.
could understand why people who do ballet feel like they've got a hook in them because it's demanding physically and all that. So I couldn't imagine doing it, you know?
Yeah.
And to think that people don't view them as athletes is absolutely insane. Like,
No.
I don't think people
I think that
understand.
ballerinas have a lot to teach you about the demands of life, the demands of your body, the demands of
Mm-hmm.
so many different things spiritually. All like
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
beautiful thing and they're so graceful and they the way that they carry themselves through the air
Mm-hmm.
and everything, it's beautiful, it's glorious.
Yeah. And I feel like something like that is a mixture of sport and an art,
Oh
honestly.
yeah, it's
So,
definitely an art. Absolutely insane. Using your body for art like that is
oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
I mean, I do
So,
yoga and that always makes me feel kind of like I'm a ballerina. So
this is coming from like a metalhead who doesn't even like watching that stuff, but when I do, man, I can't hesitate to be like, look, give them props because
yes.
I can't imagine what you have to upkeep and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool that you could capture that. You said you before we started you had a little bit of pieces that you wanted to show.
Oh yes. So I have this cool Patrick Star piece if you can see it.
Yep, we it's in the camera.
And I have my angel baby gator and both of these are actually still for sale.
Mhm. Oh, nice.
I love those.
So when it comes to the baby gators and stuff, is that just stuff that pops into your head too? Is it just like,
Oh
oh,
my
I feel
gosh,
like
yeah.
doing a
So
gator
sometimes
today?
I just paint things that I think are just super cute and I love.
Mhm.
I think that little baby gators are so cute and I had to make them all chunky and stuff.
Kirby says they'll be purchasing some more for their wall soon.
Oh,
Can you
thank
take a
you. I
guess on who
appreciate
Kirby
you.
is? Can you take a guess on who Kirby is?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. I don't know if they want me to say.
Oh,
Morgana
then I do.
says ballet is amazing and beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And Nick says he loves the Patrick Star one.
Thank
I know, didn't that
you.
one
I
come out
love
cool?
that piece.
Did that come out cool? I love it. Okay, so we have another question that they don't want to be popped up, so I've got my private messages over here. How do you find the confidence to post your art in the first place? I've been an artist for 10 years and I always feel like everybody's better than me. How do I get over that
Hmm.
and just not, second guess, like delete it right away? I've tried posting my art so many times and right before somebody sees it, I go ahead and delete it. What can I do?
Hmm. I understand. So I went through that. At first I was so fearful. I must have posted and deleted a million times. I will say you just have to keep trying. It's not easy sometimes to post your art when you put so much of your emotions into it and you don't know who's going to be able to read into that, who's going to be able to see all those parts of you that you aren't ready to open up and share.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to wait until you're really truly ready And remember that no one is better than you. You have your own unique flow of what you do. Someone will connect with you and your art, and it's going to be beautiful. So um I it took me a while to build up the confidence, a really long time. It took me until only like a few months ago, I think, Heidi, right, to post my
Yep.
ink pieces of people being tortured. I was
Well,
very scared to share
well,
those
that's why I told you
publicly.
about Slasher, because I was like, you shouldn't have to feel like, I
Yes.
know, if for you, those of you that don't know, Slasher is more of a horror community oriented app. So if you want to see more of her pieces there that kind of push the limits, she posts
Yeah.
that more over there because of other social media that kind of tends to censor or pull it down, and then it hurts her algorithm, and
Oh
we don't
yeah.
want that, right? We don't want to do that. So over there it's more open because everyone over there is kind of like, excuse me, Edgar Allan Poe over there. We all got our weird stuff going on over there.
Yes.
Um,
It's a
so
good
that's
environment for the dark.
that's why I recommended that, because I'm like, I know you want this. I could tell because you kept sending them to me too, and I was like, girl, here's the app.
That's
I
what
don't
I
mind.
truly want to do, but
I'm like,
obviously I can't
I love that
openly.
you send me this stuff, but this needs to get out to other people too. So that's why I sent you over there. I'm like, this is awesome. Don't worry about it over there. It's not judgmental.
Yes.
Um, Morgana says, I'm working the crying faces I hope to share with you. Please keep in mind, I'm not a professional artist.
Well, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. I think all art is beautiful. It's knowing that person's interpretation of things. I love
Hmm.
it. Art therapy is really cool too.
Yeah. Okay, so another private one here. I don't want to accidentally say your name. Sorry. It's hard because I'm like seeing all the chats over here. Okay, so do you recommend showing behind the scenes, or just keep that sort of to yourself? And because you mentioned earlier sharing the full piece when it's done, they're kind of
Yeah.
asking. They kind of wrote this in a weird manner, so bear with me. Um,
Okay.
Do you recommend doing sneak peeks during the process, or no? Or should that be only for like a special piece
Hmm.
that you've
That's
been
a
working
good
on a long
question.
time? Because
It's a
they're
good
kind of
question.
wondering for social media engagement. What do you recommend?
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, that is such a good question because I will sometimes I'll look at the skeleton of my piece and I'm like, oh, I really want to post this for the people that enjoy the skeleton of my piece. But
Mm-hmm.
then I don't want to give away what I'm doing because I also think that every time I post, no one's expecting what I'm posting. So
Mm-hmm.
I love the element of surprise and I feel like that brings a lot to it. However, if it's a piece that you're like, you really want to keep private until you post it, definitely do that. But you can always post progress pics as you go.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that a few times where I posted like on my way to the finishing piece, and I'll post that for people that enjoy
Mm-hmm.
progress photos, but not a lot of people do. There
Yeah.
are some people that don't enjoy the process, but some people do. So
Mm-hmm.
for engagement, oh yes, if you're posting the process as you're going, people love that. People love to look at pictures of your workspace. They love to look
Mm-hmm.
at pictures of you sweating with your paintbrush in your ear. People
Mm-hmm.
love that stuff. So
Nick says, I love Gur. Gur is amazing, and I love that one too.
I love
uh,
their
And let's see, I'm trying to sort through these. A lot of you guys are typing the way you talk, and it's so different from me, so I'm trying not to stumble through what they're trying to say and confuse you. Okay, so I am a beginner artist. Do you have any tips on how to start doing like skeletal type faces? I can't get the cheekbones right. It kind of always looks like handsome Squidward when I try. Please help.
Okay, so beginner artist. I used to teach a little bit of art classes
Mhm,
online, and I thought that that was super fun. So you need to take a deep breath, get that piece of paper in front of you, start with a circle,
mhm,
okay? And then you are going to bring that down maybe about a half inch past the bottom of the circle, okay? And then you're going to connect that to get yourself a nice chin, whatever shape that you want it.
mhm,
Now, the circle on the inside is going to come up here where you see the circle points on the sides. That's where your cheekbones are going to be. You can work in from there. I hope that that helps. That was a lot of describing visually.
yeah. No, they said it helped. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
They had like they could follow your hands, so they're
Okay,
excited now.
good.
They're gonna give it a go and let you
Practice,
know how it
practice,
goes.
practice.
Yeah, I had to laugh when they're like, it keeps looking like handsome Squidward. I could tell though, because when I used to draw skills too, though, it was always the cheekbones that are a pain in the butt. But once you get those,
Yeah.
it kind of helps a little bit.
Just don't think too hard into it.
Hmm.
Smooth.
So let's see what else we got here. We got a lot coming. Holy crap! This is good. This is so awesome. I'm so glad. Bear with me.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, Nick went ahead and linked your Painted Angels page and your slasher link in the
Thank you,
chat.
Nick.
So guys, it is there. Look for Dark Mage 4's comment on Twitch, and it is there. Earthikin Earthikin 5555. Ooh, thank you for the slasher link. That's why I noticed that Nick did that. So,
Yay. Thanks,
okay.
Nick. Best co-hosts. You guys are the best co-hosts.
You're all good, Nick.
Oh yeah,
I know
guys,
you're
don't
going
forget
to.
to come watch when we watch scary movies too.
Yeah, we're doing that December 9th, which is a Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're just gonna
Yeah.
do a couple like horror themed Christmas stuff, and we chill out and we have a good time. And you guys, anytime you guys comment, we bring it up on the screen and you can join the
Yeah.
discussion
Eat
with
some
us.
snacks and laugh with us.
So,
We're
oh
always
yeah, we
laughing
pick
at
on
scary movies.
everything. Nick says he can't wait for horror moss. Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I'm super excited.
Creepmas is
Uh,
coming.
let's see. Okay, next question is legs. Why are legs so difficult? Help me.
Legs. Well,
That's all they said.
the reason that legs are difficult is because of proportions.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you have to be super careful with what you're doing. Just try to, if you're a visual person, you can go off of your own body. If you lay out your leg and you lay out your arm where your fingertip ends, just try to draw the arms and torso on and try to go the same. You just gotta proportions. Proportions are hard,
Mhm.
but you can do it. Almost like if you get one of those little wooden guys, you know what
Mhm.
I'm talking about.
Yep.
The person that you can.
Yeah, the little model, they're in the Walmart section for everybody watching. They're in the Walmart
Yes.
section. I see them all the time. That's what she's referencing to.
I go off memory when it comes to things like that. Like I could
Mhm.
sketch out a person super quick, but if
Yep.
you need help, shapes. It's all shapes.
Mhm.
But legs are hard, yes.
I think like that was the worst thing about doing effects even like when you had to sculpt something on the body cast of a leg. I always hated it
I
because you
love
got the knee
sculpting.
and
I
the
would love to
paste.
sculpt with you one day,
But
Javi.
oh my god, we have to do what we said, where we will take some of your creatures and make them into Halloween masks. I think that would
That
be
would
like
be
the
the
best
best.
collab ever.
Next year it's happening.
We have
Speak it
to. We
into
have to. We don't
existence.
live that far from each
We
other. We can
don't.
make it
I will
happen.
come up there for a weekend. We're doing it.
We will make it happen. Kirby already says that they're down. They're down too.
Yay!
So yeah. But yeah, that would be totally cool. I think that would be like a really cool collab to just.
Then we could do a podcast while we're in the same room.
Yes, we have to. We have to. We'll have to rent a cabin and just like have a cabin podcast.
Oh man, what an
Oh,
adventure.
yes. I'm down for that. Especially when we do HorrorCon together. That's going to be amazing.
Oh,
When
and
that
my
happens,
girl Elise, tattoo artist, she's down to come to HorrorCon too.
yes, I love that. We could probably like collab with a table and like have her have the tattoo right there on the end there.
Yes.
Yes, we could totally do it. Because sometimes the cost of the tables are crazy, so we could just work together.
We can
Be like,
all go in.
boom, yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Look at us
so
making future
excited.
plans. Let's see. What is your favorite cartoon to recreate? We saw a lot of SpongeBob. I guess people are going through your stuff now as you're on here, so.
My favorite cartoon. Okay, so my all-time favorite is anything Jonan Vasquez. I was a comic book nerd growing up, so I was very into graphic novels and comics, and mainly Jonan Vasquez. And you all know who he is because he created Invader Zim, but he also created Filler Bunny and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
I have those comics.
Yes. He's done so much. Squee. I love all of his creations. So I love doing anything Invader Zimish and Squee and all of that. It feels like my art.
I was just about to say, like, when you recreate those, I'm like, yeah, that definitely seems like
I grew
close to
up
her.
on all of his artwork. So, yes. And if anyone knows Lenore, the cute little dead girl, she was one
Mhm.
of my favorite comics too. So I feel like I incorporate a lot of those. That's all I used to read as a kid.
So most of you don't know, her and I are collabing on a book project too. I wrote a
Mm-hmm.
short novel, and I'm just waiting for the editor to get back. She had a family emergency. I'm making sure everything looks good before I send it over to her, and she's gonna be doing some illustrations. And it's
I'm
called The
so
Grinning
excited.
Man. And it's actually based on a true story of how I broke out of my head, if that makes sense. So I look super forward to seeing
I
what
can't wait.
illustrations,
The
because
fact that you trust me with interpreting this is like crazy.
the thing is, like, I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to send you the unedited version because there's some stuff that she might be like, oh, this is too wordy, blah, blah, blah. So once that's
Yeah.
done, sending it over to you, and I trust your judgment on what you want to illustrate, because
Ah,
I just know that you'll get it. So I can't wait, because it's going to be a surprise to me too. And when the
yeah.
book does come out, you're not only supporting me with every purchase, but you're also supporting her. You know, it's a 50-50 split. So that's
I'm so
how we roll.
excited.
Me too. I can't wait because, like, I see him in my mind, but like I said, I can't draw, which
Yeah.
really throws people off because they're like, you're a special effects artist. How can you not draw? I could see it in my head, but like you said, with the painting and the canvas, I could do that with the clay. So I have it
Yeah.
up here. I don't have to, like, I know a lot of special effects artists kind of have to sketch it out. I don't have to because it's up here. And I can just let my hands do the work. So it's kind of like that. So, it throws everybody off though. They're like, what do you mean you can't draw? I'm like, I can draw the guy from Hangman. That's it. Like,
No,
that's
some
it.
people can just sculpt, so I
Mm-hmm.
completely understand.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have a painting of yours that you created that you just didn't like and your fans liked more than you did?
Oh my gosh. Yes. And you know what? That always happens to be the piece that everyone freaks out about. I'll be like, oh, I just don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's not even that I don't necessarily like it, it's that I don't know
Mhm.
how to feel about it. Like, I'll be
Right.
done and I'll be like, eh, I'm like, this isn't my best work, but I've done
Right.
everything that I could for it. And then I post it and people are like, this is amazing. And I'm like, whoa. So that has happened to me and it feels weird.
Cause could it be because, like, you've worked on it so long that maybe you're kind of like,
Perhaps.
like,
Perhaps.
I know sometimes that happens with my pieces, especially with this Chamber of Horrors that I'm editing. I'm like, I'm being super hypercritical again, so I'm gonna have to smack me in the head and just post it, like you say, just post it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
it
feel
it's
like you just need to post it.
yeah, it's very hard not to be self-critical as an artist because it is our souls going into this stuff. So
Yeah.
essentially it's really really exhausting, and I feel like anybody that's in this, if you're a younger one or a beginner or whatever, it doesn't matter what age you are and you feel like you want to begin, just do it, because
Yes.
the good thing and the positive thing about social media is, like we are today, we can come together as creators of whatever we do, and we can start having these conversations. And I had somebody comment, it's really nice listening to an artist. I've been an artist for 15 years and the promotion side intimidates me. I can't wait to finally be able to hire somebody because I feel like my artwork suffers from having to do
Mm.
marketing, promotion, and everything. Thank you for your advice. I'm going to go out tomorrow and get a planner and see if that could help me in some form.
Awesome.
So there's a lot of, like I said, you got a lot of people that don't want to be blasted on screen right now because they're shy. And I'm hoping this interview will inspire you guys, because she's just a normal person. I'm a normal person. We're not influencers by any means. We're,
No, I
we,
don't want to be either. I enjoy
no,
creating. I love my art.
we are just human beings running small businesses.
Aw, you're welcome. Love you.
And this is what I would love to do, is keep inspiring you guys, and that's why I love having Lex on. And last time we did Nick's movie. He
Yes.
said that more people started to watch it after that. So
Aw,
don't
I'm
be
glad.
afraid to talk to either one of us if you find us on social media. Stop it. Sorry about that, guys. That's usually Chris's break alarm, and for some reason, it's on my phone and not his because we have the same phone, so we accidentally put it over here. But you know, we are like we want to see what you guys are doing out there. We want to help you guys inspire.
Yes, please post your art and please don't stop
Please,
creating. Keep
and
doing it.
don't be ashamed to tag us because we will share it.
Yes,
We get busy when we're posting our stuff. We get busy. We're not purposely ignoring any of you guys, so please don't feel that way. It's just really difficult when we're in that business mode.
it's
We're in that
true.
business block. We don't got time for that. There's times when her and I don't go talking for 2 weeks, and then it's like, oh hey, it's time to talk, Oh, let's see. Uh, am I on FB? Yes, I am. You can find me on Desdemona Productions, and then if you want my personal one, well, I pop up on Lex's page all the time. I just don't want to
Yes.
blast that
I
on my
just
live
tagged
stream.
her in my most recent photo. So go to my most recent photo.
Thank you, Morgana. Um, and then okay, let's see what else we got here. They're coming up so fast. Oh my gosh. Do you prefer to paint or do your pen illustrations?
Hmm.
There's a lot of typos in that one. Sorry about that.
There's so many different things that I love to do. Like I would love to get back into sculpting. I
Mhm.
love ink pieces. I love painting. I love watercolors and
Mhm.
acrylics and oils.
Mhm.
I love pastels. I love so many different things. I'd say I prefer either ink or paint, but I have to take a break from painting sometimes. I go
Mhm.
back to ink. Like you can't just keep on go 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 go. Like
Right.
it does drive me crazy.
Mhm.
So I swap back and forth to give myself a break. So
Mhm.
those two mediums, definitely my fave. Paint's just so fun because it's like I'm sculpting because I'm just molding it
Mhm.
exactly how I want it to be with the
Yeah.
paint. So I love doing that.
Okay, let's see. Somebody said you are like the whimsical Bob Ross and they love you.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody else said you have the most calming voice for art teaching, so we totally believe you are an art teacher.
Aw, thank you.
Somebody asked if you still do classes or will in the future.
You know what? I don't mind. I literally did it
Mhm.
over video chat
Mhm.
and it was super fun. So maybe after the holidays,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah, so guys, I will link as soon as she mentions that that's going to be a thing. I will be happy to share it, and if you want to stay anonymous, I'm sure she will work with you on that. I know,
Absolutely.
a lot of people. Oh, thank you, Morgana. I hope I'm saying that right. Forgive my accent; it's a blend of a lot of things. Um, okay, let's see. Um, somebody's asking, would you ever yourself create your own comic with your own whimsical creatures
Oh
and
my
your nature?
goodness. Dude, that would be a dream come true. Like literally, if someone hit me up from New York and was like, Heidi, and was like, come up here and start working on this with our publishing
Hey,
company,
I'm a
I
writer.
absolutely
I could do
would.
the writing part. I don't care.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I absolutely would. I
Mountain
would
cabin trip.
totally.
That's what we're doing. Kirby, you're gonna be
Comic
in on it
books,
too.
graphic novel, anything. I'm down. I love
Let's do it.
comics. So,
I could do writing all
especially
day.
if I just had to do the art.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. Uh, do you ever do horror movie series paintings? Yes, she does.
Oh,
I don't think they
yeah.
scrolled enough on your page yet.
So many.
I actually have the Ghost Face one because Kirby got that for me as a gift, and then I have the
Yes.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they're in the other room. They're in my office space, so they're like hanging up, and it's like the first thing people see when they walk into the house now.
I did so many. When it was leading up to Halloween, I went crazy, dude.
I think the Michael Myers with the butt cheeks out was hilarious. I
Oh,
laughed
that
so
one was
hard, but I was
great.
like, it
That
was
one found a
perfect.
home, surprisingly.
Yeah. Oh, that's not surprisingly. I figured that one would. I was like, yeah.
I
Like,
was like, who wants this? Oh my gosh.
oh, like the horror crowd has a weird sense of humor. So like I knew I was like, yeah, that's gonna find a home. Okay. Madness 824 says, Lex, how do you feel about AI art? Yes, it's in quotes on purpose, lol.
Oh no, controversial.
That's okay.
All right. So, well, how do I feel? Okay. So, huh. I would say I have a lot of artist friends on my page, and a lot of them are pretty big creators. And a lot of them have been mentioning how upset they are about AI interpretations of art. There are a lot of people that are being foul and they're selling them on Etsy and saying that they handmade them and stuff. But you know what? I I haven't like deleted people because they share it. Half the time I don't even know what it
Mm.
is, you know? So I will say that if we want to keep art alive, because I don't do prints, I don't do sticker, I don't do anything like that. All of my pieces are original pieces. If someone wants a
Mm.
piece like a piece that I sold, I can tell them, tell me what colors you like, and I will do a different rendition, completely
Mm-hmm.
unique. So if you want art to stay alive like it is right now, you want people to have canvases on their walls that are original paintings from people, then we need to keep art alive. So
Mm-hmm.
if AI is bothering you, it's not going to stop, guys. Nothing is even real. We're in this dystopian nightmare. It's
Yeah.
not going to stop. AI is here to stay. So you have to keep creating.
Uh-huh. And I agree with that. I'm totally against the whole AI art
Me
thing.
too.
I've had people be like, "Oh, just try it once," and I tried it once, and what came out was something so cold you could tell a human didn't create it.
And
Um,
it does steal from
and
other artists all
I
over the place.
actually did a test. I took a poster that I actually hand created bit by photos I took of old Jeeps out back my dad used to have back in the day and
Yeah.
manipulated it into a horror piece myself. Took the time to do it versus the AI art one to see which one would sell out more. And the human one did because the other one, everyone was like, there's just something wrong about this piece. The human
Mhm.
connection is lacking. And like you said, there has been issues with people borrowing from other artists. It is a machine. And the thing is, all we wanted AI for was to clean our houses so we can create more. I don't know where this demand for it to bother artists. I also have lost graphic design gigs to AI because people say it's
Oh,
easier.
I'm absolutely sure about that.
And
Absolutely.
it's not okay. Kirby says the dad bod one was one of her faves.
Oh my gosh. I still have that one. I love that one.
But back at the AI thing, it's like it's a slippery slope because if we give it too much power, like you said, art will eventually go out and it become frigid. We see it in the dystopian movies all the time. So it
Yeah.
is our job to be humble humans and just
Be
show people,
proactive,
hey,
guys. Just keep
yeah.
creating and
And
keep supporting small art. That's all
the
that you
thing
can
is,
do.
too, is when it comes to the AI discussion, like you said, that's really controversial. What I have found, because I used to do weird theories on my channel, so I'm used to controversy, okay? What I found is in order to discuss something like that, to have the calm dialogue like we did. You
Yeah.
know, even if we had a different opinion on it, you got
Yeah.
to remember human dialogue matters and human dialogue is dying because of AI. I mean, I know people that are so addicted to AI right now, like they'll be like, "Oh, please write me a response to my boyfriend" or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it's getting ridiculous and they're not used to the human dialogue anymore. So, if you're
Hmm.
an artist and you are trying to show the differences between the two and you know bringing awareness to the severe situation that AI is bringing to artists, do it with kindness and do it with like, hey, look what I found, this is what I
Yeah.
found out, guys, how can we help our small businesses, which is essentially what artists are. And I found that I actually got a better response if you start going in with, oh my god, I demand AI stop, blah, blah. Do you
Yeah.
respond well with people yelling at you? No, I know I don't. I know if you're gonna come in and yell at me, I'm gonna pop you in the face. Just kidding, I'm not.
Yeah. And the
But you,
block button is
you know,
there and it's necessary. People
um,
ask me if they can make my art into NFTs all the time and I block
yeah,
them. So,
yeah. I think that's the thing too. As long as they ask your permission and they
yeah,
have it, I think that's where it makes a big difference too. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And as long as people, like you said, they aren't just throwing it out on their own. To
Yeah.
me, all the stuff, it's similar to when I hear auto tune in music. I can't
Oh,
connect with
yeah.
it.
Well, if
I
we
can't.
want to fight AI, The only
Mhm.
thing that you can do is bring something to your art that AI isn't bringing to their art. Bring some
Mhm.
emotion into it, bring some human life
Mhm.
into that,
Mhm.
and we can do that. We
Mhm.
can fight AI.
We absolutely can. I have no
Woo!
doubt. I have no doubt that eventually
I'm
it's
not even
just
bothered by it because I'm like,
yeah. And see, I
I'm
think
still
that's
going to
what,
keep
like
creating.
that's the thing too. It's like at first I was like, "Whoa, how dangerous is this gonna be?" Because when it first came out, I saw even like people like musicians and everything. Oh, AI stealing our voices and it's making songs and
Yeah.
making money off of our like. That's wrong. Like you're stealing
Yeah.
someone's humanity essentially. That's kind of weird. And I've watched
Yeah.
too many dystopian '80s horror movies to know that okay, let's not sign. Let's sign on to that. But bringing
Yeah.
awareness to it, I think, needs to be done in a calm and polite manner. And I
Absolutely.
think that's why a lot of causes get ignored
Yeah. No, I
because
think if people really want to bring it to the forefront I mean, there's different reasons like
mhm,
to go and do that, but
mhm,
if people are definitely bothered by it, then they should. I mean, if you
mhm,
want to actually go fight for your right, you can. But I always tend to look at things in a more chill vibe way. Like
mhm.
I'm not here forever,
Yeah,
and I feel like my art is meant to be shared as well. So
yeah,
I don't get too crazy about like, oh no,
mhm,
but at the same time, like AI taking people's jobs is very sad.
yeah. So yeah, like same thing with me. Like I try not to lose my mind at first
Yes.
reading something because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Because I will
sensationalism
lose my
out there.
mind.
And the thing is, like, you look into it, you read into it, and I think we're right now at a perfect spot with a lot of people discussing this, like Madness bringing up this question for you at all, and we're
Yeah.
still talking about it. Look how nice we could talk about it. I hope this inspires people to, continue on. If you're concerned about your fellow
Absolutely.
artists, keep buying art.
Keep
Same
going
thing
to
with
small
music.
artists. The more that we do it, the better it will be.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with
It'll be
music.
okay.
Go to those independent shows.
Yes.
Go
Find
do
small
that
artists for
stuff.
music too. It's the best.
Do it. I work more in the independent scene because I just love it, and it's your everyday people that are, much like me and you. We've had to work jobs
Yeah.
while
There's a
bringing our
lot more
dream to life.
soul in the
Exactly.
artwork.
And in another video, I'll discuss that kind of stuff because I don't want this live to get taken down. You've said a lot of good stuff. That's kind of controversial,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's just I don't know. I could definitely tell when something is computer made and not human made. I think that's why I try my best to highlight you guys painting and creating and all that kind of stuff because we can only combat AI as long as we are vocal about it and sharing what we love and showing that,
Yes.
hey, humanity's awesome. I don't see why people like there's a lot of dreariness in this world, but you know what? There's a lot of cool people in it too, and don't let the bad like make you sour all the time. And this is coming from somebody
Exactly.
who was sour all the time for 10 years of her life. So like, I've been there,
Yes.
done that. It does no good. It does no good to stay mentally trapped in that prison. So if you're going to go crazy with the whole like because I see it a lot of times, even on like TikTok, people are like, hey, hi, hi, blah, 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 blah. You're not going to get anywhere yelling at people.
Yeah.
Point blank. Your delivery matters. If you're going to continuously yell at people, not going to happen. Not going to happen, my
I
broskies.
agree. We should really be kind, guys. Come on. Do better.
Okay, and okay, here's an important question that somebody said. Uh, I agree with your AI art stance. That's really cool to see other people saying the same thing. We just have to keep creating because you're right.
Yes.
It's not going to go anywhere. We're in a digital age, so we might as well just keep doing what we're doing. How do you feel? Do you feel people get turned off if you share too much of your personal life on your business page? Because I like to connect to my audience by letting them into my life.
Mm.
However, I've had some audience members stop following my business page saying I share too much. Should I keep it half and half? Or
Hmm.
should I keep a profile for where followers can add me if they want to see like into my life they can versus my business page? What do you have to say about that? That was wordy. You guys couldn't have put that in a little bit of something else.
So I definitely understand so much. That took me trial and error too, for
Mhm.
sure. Um, I definitely on my personal page is private.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a ton of people on there, but they are all people that I definitely screened as they were coming in, made sure that I had mutuals, made sure that they were a real
Mm-hmm.
person. Be careful. But I
Mm-hmm.
post my personal life and I post my paintings and sales that I'm making on my main account. My
Mm-hmm.
business page is strictly business. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, here's a selfie of me getting ready to paint or something.
Mm-hmm.
But just so that people remember I am a human being, because I'll
Yeah.
post so many paintings. But I definitely think that sometimes there does need to be a separation between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you. What you want to
Mm-hmm.
share is up to you. Some people
Yeah.
make a good living sharing every single thing.
See, I feel like so again with that, it has to do with delivery too. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So like it depends on like I feel like because for some people I feel like sharing it on your business page and and stuff it works for certain people than more so than others depending on what your niche is. Because
Yes.
who is your audience exactly? You know what I mean? So that's what I can say from my viewpoint. Um, who is your audience, because that's a lot of mistake that a lot of my friends, they come to me and they're like, oh, what did I do? And I was like, well, your audience follows your business page for this, they don't follow it for this. So that way maybe have a VIP group or something, kind of like you have your group too, and
I
you could vet
agree.
that,
I had to literally
you
go
know.
find people that were
Mm-hmm.
into art at all.
Yeah, so it really depends. You just learn your audience, and that is key because
Yeah, what are they liking more? Do they want to see
yeah.
more of you chilling in your painting chair, you know?
Morgana says, I don't like pages that are only business if they are set up as profiles. Yep. Yeah, and I can understand that.
Understandable.
Yep. See, like, for me, it's difficult because I live in such a small area. So I have to kind of be a little bit careful with my location and stuff like that. So that's why, like, if you like my Desdemona Productions page, it's going to be more so our links to our stuff and stuff like that. Whereas, like, if you're on one of my profile pages, you'll get to see more because, like Lex says, we can vet the people who see it. I'm in
Yes.
such a small area that it would actually be dangerous for me to not do that. And in the past, when I was younger, I had a stalker from Canada.
Oh my gosh, yes, I've had stalkers too.
So,
Definitely be very careful about posting like anything behind you that people could recognize, please.
mm-hmm.
And don't post where you're located,
Yeah,
please.
no, turn your geotags off, people.
Turn it
Just
all
do
off.
it.
I agree. That happens and it's scary. It's very
It's
scary.
it's it's absolutely scary because you don't know. Like we mentioned, the positives of ghost watchers, but you also don't know which ghost watchers should be on Deadly Women or something like
Yes.
that. So you want to be careful. You want to be careful. I know a lot of our followers are probably true crime enthusiasts. Learn from those mistakes, my friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Please be
Uh,
aware. Be very aware.
it's really hard, and that's where like I feel like it's hard as a business owner too, because you want to connect to your base, but you also
Yeah.
have to be aware. Like, okay, what is being public? What do I want publicly known? Especially, if you have children and stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, who am I letting see the
Yes.
images of my children? Because there's a lot of weirdos out there, and you
I've
might not
had to
think
make a
it.
lot of things private and I
Mm-hmm.
post only what I'm comfortable with who I'm
Yep.
comfortable with. You have to remember to do that for sure.
Yeah,
I agree.
because you have to remember, you're not just putting it out to people in your area. People worldwide can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So always just, when people ask me about that whole personal stuff, it's like, you could do your personal life on your business public page, but do the edited version and save the raw version for your private
Yes.
groups where you can connect
Yes.
with people.
I get very personal on my Facebook
And there's nothing
profile.
wrong with that. There's
Very
nothing wrong with
personal.
that.
But
I'm
when it
I'm
comes
a
to my business page, I'm definitely a lot more careful. There's a lot of
mhm.
fans that can be very sketchy.
Oh, yeah, especially in the horror industry. There's
Hmm.
a lot of that.
You got to be careful.
You definitely have to, because there's a lot of people that can't tell the difference between
Oh, you
reality
being
and
nice
and
and you
movies.
flirting.
Oh yeah, or being nice. Just being nice, like, "Oh, thanks, doll." Like, I've
If
had to
I'm
stop
being
saying
nice,
that.
sometimes people will interpret it as, "Oh my gosh, she wants me." You have to be super careful.
Yeah, yeah, no, I've never once thought that when you say "love you, Angel." Like, I've never thought, "Hey, Chris, Lex wants to take me away now. We're running off together. Sorry, Josiah, we're running off together." Like, I've
We
never.
would too. We
We
would.
totally would. I'll wear a frog suit.
Oh my God. To the middle of the woods we go.
Yeah. But no, it's just always be careful. Just remember that you might have amazing intentions and want to share your story because that does help others
Yes.
when you share, but not everybody watching you has those good intentions.
Yeah.
I
And your
have
business is going
literally,
to grow as it grows.
mm-hmm,
Remember that number is actual, like always picture them in an auditorium setting. That will make you think about how many people there really are there. Cause I know that you can be
mm-hmm.
desensitized because you're just typing away.
Yeah, because we're in our rooms. We're not seeing these
Yeah.
people, so it's a lot. It's really creepy, and I mean, like, I remember when I was younger, a stalker person got mad because I'm really smart with like there's no way you could really like pinpoint, like I kind of throw everything off all the time. And I
Yeah.
learned that skill because I had a lot of computer friends, so they're like, "Okay, we're going to show you how to do this." I'm like, "Cool." When I was younger, I found that somebody like took my face and put it on like an adult site in China
Oh my
and was
gosh.
like I was getting because they were mad they couldn't find me, and so like I was like getting all like these random people being like, "Oh hey hey hey," I'm like, that
Oh
is
my
my face, but
gosh.
it's
That's
not me.
horrible.
So that's why I say be careful. Just be
You never
really
know who's
really
on the other
careful.
side of that screen. Just protect yourself for sure, especially if you're running a business.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And just act professional as possible. I know it's hard,
Hmm.
but if there's
Hmm.
the best thing to do is just block them.
Yeah.
But,
You
you
can block
know,
whoever you want. This
save
is
the
your this
headache.
is your
But if
life.
it's an in-person thing, try to be as professional. Turn that customer service voice on, and then if you're
Hmm.
at a horror convention or something like that, they usually have a volunteer around you, somebody you can tell, hey, this person, because I've seen that had to happen to a couple of my model friends just because they were risque in the calendar does not mean they're up for you to buy them.
Yes, for
Like,
real.
like be careful, my
Mm.
friends.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Have you ever done a creepy Barney universe asking for a friend?
Oh my gosh, I have never done Barney, but I would
Holy,
love to do Barney and Baby Bob and BJ. Oh my gosh, that would be a vibe.
that is
Probably coming
awesome.
soon.
That is awesome. They said we're just asking because we're sitting here in our dorms having conversations about how creepy it would be if Barney was a horror movie.
I agree. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Madness says, very vital question. Who's the best movie Spider-Man and why?
Is that very important?
I don't know. I don't like superhero movies.
I don't know. My son's favorite is the one with the little boy that has the fro. So I'll go
I
for
think you're
that
cutting
Spider-Man.
out again. You might have to rejoin again.
Oh no. Oh, okay, I'm
It's
rejoining.
okay. She'll be right back. This happened last time and she had to rejoin because of her connection. Barney was a pedo, so that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll just wait for her to return. I'm sorry, I'm awkward when I'm by myself. Do do do. Definitely needs to rejoin because that question needs an answer. Yeah, she will. I know she's on her phone for these, so sometimes after a while it kind of like gives her the robot voice. And the last time for movie night, she just rejoined and everything. I'm not a big Spider-Man person, so I don't know. Let me see. Let me make sure where she's coming from. Do, 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 do. If you guys have any more questions for her, we'll probably be on for a half an hour more. Just because I have to start cooking dinner soon. But yeah, okay. Let me make sure she's coming back. Yeah, give her a minute. She'll be right back. Yep, she'll be right back, I promise, guys. So if you guys want to see more of these kinds of interviews, don't forget to follow us. I'm pretty sure my co-hosts would love to join me in interviewing people. We just wanted to showcase Lex today because of all her new artwork. I think my favorite piece is the Dr. Jekyll, though, that I have, honestly. Oh, my dog's barking. Woohoo. Sorry about that. Um, Yes, yes. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys can't see this coming. Yes, we are. We've talked about doing the horror mask collab for a while now, and I think that'd be really cool, especially with the way that she draws things. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Ta-da! Yes, it's fixed.
Yay, yours was getting fuzzy too. Okay, good.
Madness says you definitely need to rejoin because that question needs an answer about the Spider-Man.
Oh my goodness. I honestly have always been more into horror than I have like any superhero films, but I honestly can't even answer that question. I don't want to disappoint.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of that. I don't. I'm more into horror stuff, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. Now, Chris would know this. He's into the superhero stuff because he did all that strongman stuff that you saw on my page. That was
Oh,
500 pounds he
cool.
lifted.
That was crazy.
He can lift the car out of the ditch, so in the wintertime. So I'm still,
That's
yeah, I'm not
awesome.
kidding. He's built like one of those like 1920s 1940s strongmen, so it's kind
What
of
a
funny.
useful skill, though. I wish
I
I
know
could
it's
just pick
weird
up and
too.
move my car.
Yeah, he's like, I got it. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I don't know much about Spider-Man. I just see it like
No.
people. I just scroll kind of past that. Let's see what else do we got here. Have you done Creepy Sesame Street? Are you guys having a little bit of drinking time in your dorm room there, and you're just going through child shows now? I
I
mean,
I definitely haven't done Sesame Street yet, honestly. No one's really even brought it up either. I've been doing most of the things that I grew up with.
hmm,
Um yeah, mostly like on the Cartoon Network side of things,
hmm,
Nickelodeon side of things when we were kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said if you did the old-fashioned Mickey Mouse being creepy, didn't you do something like that, or was that something else?
I don't remember if I did Mickey Mouse or
I
not.
don't remember. I don't
I've
remember.
sent out like over 700 paintings now. I was
Yeah.
counting through packing slips. Oh my gosh. So honestly, I might have, but not in my like evolved style that I have now, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that makes total sense. Okay. Have you ever had someone commission you for a piece and then tell you that they did not like the finished product? This has happened to me recently and I don't know what to do
Hmm.
because like I gave them two revisions before I did the final, this person saying, and they said everything was okay, they okayed it, and then when I brought it to life, they said they just wanted their money back. Has that happened to you?
Um, hmm.
I've never had that happen on my
Not
end.
not that specifically. I would say though that since if that did happen to me, the way that I would handle it would definitely be well if someone wanted their money back, I would definitely give them their money back.
Hmm.
But I would definitely next time anytime someone wants to commission from you, let them know this piece is going to be in my style. You
Hmm.
have to absolutely be okay with my interpretation, and there will be no refunds.
Hmm.
Or at least do a refund, a deposit of half down. And if they
Hmm.
aren't happy with their piece, you could always have them not pay the finished amount.
Right.
But I would definitely figure out a way to protect yourself if that happens again,
Kind of like a mini
um or
contract, kind of.
before, yeah, or before it happens again, because if that ever
Mhm.
happened to me, then I would probably put a rule into place.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Just definitely have something. Remember that a lot of times, sometimes people will try to commission you and be like, "Oh, well, I saw this art piece and I want it exactly like that." But like she said,
Hmm.
it's up to your interpretation as an
Yeah.
artist. It's not going to be exactly the same. So
No,
it's
half the
it's
time, I mean, my
difficult.
friend is my one of my best friends is a tattoo artist, and
Hmm.
she won't even, if someone brings her anyone else's drawing or anyone else's tattoo, she won't even do it.
Yeah.
She
No.
will literally will not even tattoo you if it's the same. So you could do the same thing You could tell people it's literally not going to look exactly like
Yeah.
this.
I know when my tattoo artist Katie here, she I tell her what I want and I show her examples, but I let her do it because I know if I bring
Hmm.
somebody else's work, like it's not going to turn out exactly like that because she's going to be doing her
Oh, and
interpretation
people
on
have
me.
come to me and been like, I want this
Like she did
extremely
these two.
realistic.
She did these two.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it was just I was like, have at it, you're the artist, not me. So like
That's the way it should be.
you know, like if I bring you a drawing, okay, especially with tattooing, because it's going on the body, so it's not going to be a flat surface. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So, you got to trust the artist and letting them just do their thing because
You
they got
do.
to
And if
account
you don't
for,
trust it, don't do it.
yeah,
Like, just
don't do
don't
it.
do it. I always tell people if you truly don't trust my work, then don't come to me at
Mhm.
all.
That's actually why I only have 3 tattoos on my body because I'm super picky. And I was like, if I don't trust the artist, I don't
Oh
care
God,
if
I
my
have a million.
friends.
I got too happy with people's art.
I just, I get super, super picky though because I know it's
Yeah.
on me permanently. And like,
You have to
the
go to a
only,
tattoo artist that is also an artist. That's what I've learned.
that's why my friend Kate, like, when you
Yeah.
come up, I'll take you to meet her because she's done a lot of cool stuff over the years. That's why I trust her because I'm like, look, I have this in my head and she'll actually like,
Yeah.
make
Some
sure it
tattoo artists
happens.
are just in it for the money and just in it for the
Mm.
tracing, but there's others that are actual artists and they really care about their work. It's
Which
awesome.
it comes out better, I feel.
Absolutely.
Because like my other one is from a trace artist and it looks good. The line work's good, but you could tell like she just okay, I'm here, give me, you know what I mean. And then
Yeah.
when I go to her, she's taking her time and stuff like that, and
It's
you could
just
see
like
that.
with the AI thing. You can
Mhm.
tell when someone's putting soul into it and
Mhm.
when it's just soulless and cold.
Yup. Someone asked if you have a least favorite tattoo and why.
Oh my gosh. I'm covered. Like, so I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. I feel like I can't really even say what it is over
Mm.
this, but it was a tattoo that I got a long time ago. I think I was like 22. So
Mhm.
like 10, 11 years ago. And yeah, yeah, it's gonna get covered up. There
Yeah.
are some things that we do when we're young and we're
Mhm.
crazy and we're vibing, and then we realize later on that could be interpreted as something really dark and dangerous.
Yeah, we don't want that
So I'm not
anymore.
gonna say what it is, but I
No.
do have a least favorite tattoo. It's mostly because it's from back in my DRUG days.
Yeah.
So there you
Yeah,
go.
and you know what? That kind of stuff, it happens,
Yeah,
and I
I
can't
will
wait
get
to
it
see what
covered
you.
up.
You mentioned tattoo collab. Do you take commissions to draw tattoos too, or do we have to go to the artist?
I do. I have three different artists that tattoo my work. One is in Indiana, one's in Oregon, and one is in Pennsylvania. Um, so I design for them. However, I do also design tattoos. For $55, I'll do it on a 9 by 12 inch thick illustration paper, and then you can frame it and you can take it to the artist. They size it up. They
Mhm.
take care of all of the details and colors, whatever, but I can design a tattoo for you if you hit me up.
They just said yay, exciting, because I guess they're all like scrolling through your page, so you're gonna probably get a bunch of weird stuff over here.
Yeah,
My
hit me
private
up.
chat, my private chat. If you guys would like move over to our public one, so I could just pull it up. You don't even have to put your real name. I highly doubt Madness's real name is Madness. So you don't even. It would be so much easier. So for the next time, guys, if you could do that, and it would also help the algorithm and help us both out if you guys were in here. But no, I have to read it from two different things. Tisk tisk, my friends. Tisk tisk. Let's see. Are you? What was that? No, that one's ridiculous. No, that one's like way too ridiculous. I cannot repeat what you just said on here. You are going to get us kicked off, Jeremy. Don't
Oh,
even.
come on,
It's not
guys.
it's not that. Let me see if I could. Let me
Okay.
see if I can
Interpret
customer
it
service this. Let's see.
differently.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Okay. If I commissioned a beautiful pin up piece
Yes.
of my old lady for our anniversary that may have
Yes. Okay, so
materials.
I absolutely have done um NUDE art of people have sent me people that are comfortable with me and know that I would never share them.
Yeah,
People have sent them to me and I have commissioned art like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
So
trying to.
just message me if you're interested and we can work together if you're comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to figure out. I'm
Absolutely.
like he kept typing it. I'm like,
I
just
love
calm down
love.
so I
I
could
love
customer
when
service it.
people come to me for paintings for their significant others, no matter what it is. I will handle it professionally. I think it's
Hmm.
so sweet to gift someone a painting.
Yeah, well, they noticed your ballerina painting and they liked the way that you portrayed everything. So I'm
Oh
hoping,
yeah, if you
I'm
wanted them
hoping you
in
guys.
ballet position, I could even do that for you. I'll
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
yeah. So they just didn't know if you felt comfortable being approached because I did not want to
No,
come off
I
as
am
somebody
absolutely
being.
comfortable with the human body. I look at it in more of an artistic way. I feel
Mm,
like people used to get spooked by me because I do study faces a lot, but
yeah,
I
but
absolutely will interpret it in a nice
I just
professional
feel like that's
artistic way.
like, I don't know if it's because I hang out with a lot of artists or not. I just feel like that's just normal for an artist to do is
Oh
study
my
the
gosh,
human
there'd
form
be a
in a
lot of people that would
non-creepy
be like,
manner. In
"What
a
are you looking
non-creepy
at,
manner.
Lex?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
"Your nose is beautiful."
yeah, like I don't take it. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's because I've always been around artists, so
Yeah.
it's like second nature to me. Like I know you're not staring at me; you're just interpret. Like I get it, you know. But a lot of
Yeah.
times, people think you're like checking them out or being
Oh
weird, or
yeah.
it's like I'm not looking at you like that. Calm down.
No, I just want to remember like all the different textures of your face and your skin tones and your hair, all of it.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, Jeremy, go ahead and if you wanna reach out. He wants to get his girlfriend's permission, obviously, to share the photo with you to get that done as a
Absolutely.
painting. Consent matters,
That's
guys, when you're doing
awesome.
that kind of stuff. But hopefully he'll pop over to you when that's all said and done. I think that would be cool though. I think that'd be cool because
Me
she
too.
does cool interpretations, guys, and I'm not just saying that because she's my pal. Like this is I've seen her do the stuff for other people, and it just comes out awesome and
I love it. It's
unique.
so much fun.
Yeah. So, like, what is the weirdest request you ever got in a commission?
Oh
Are you even
man.
allowed to say?
Hmm. Um. Hmm. I cannot say. I'm very sorry. I'm gonna have to pass on that one
Yeah,
because it's
it's
too
bad. There's no customer servicing that. Let's just put it this way.
not that
Don't be
one.
a creep.
It
Simple as
can
that.
get bad, and I will say the only time that I'd ever done requests like that was when I was in prison. So
Mm,
not on the outside. I have no reason to need any type of commissary, guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, 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 yep.
Keep it a little PG. I will do nudes, but after
Yeah,
that, it does
yeah.
get hazy.
Just don't be a creep. That's all it is.
Hmm.
See it as an art, and that's fine, but don't be creepy,
There
because if
are
you're
artists
creepy.
who do that. Definitely
Hmm.
ask in a nice way.
And it's all in the artist's comfort level, too, because obviously they're being professional and they're not phased. After a while, you get desensitized to the human body in that manner
Oh
anyway.
yes.
Even for us in the special effects world, when you have to body cast people, it's just like, okay, it's a boob. Like, you know what I
Literally.
mean? Like, it's
It's
like,
just a part
okay.
of your body, whatever.
Yeah, so it's a lot different. It's a lot different viewpoint from non-artists sometimes because it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
to us it's like we're not being like, oh hey, whereas it
Like
happens, and that's
I
why.
will draw them. I'm just not gonna put them together, guys.
Life is strange. People ask weird stuff on the internet. These are my
I
friends
love it.
though. These are my friends though. They're trying to be
You would
weird,
never
and
know if you didn't ask. Please
that's
go
true.
ahead and
That's true.
ask.
No stupid question.
No stupid questions.
uh, do you still do oil paintings? You mentioned earlier you liked
Uh
oils as well.
I love oils, guys. I haven't done an oil painting in years. Times are just so hard, but
Hmm.
one day, perhaps.
Yeah.
A very expensive way of painting.
Yeah, I noticed that too. One time I had to do like an oil
Hmm.
paint party and everyone's like, let's do this. I'm like, that's
Oh
expensive. You
no.
guys are getting
I will
watercolors.
stick with acrylics. Oils are
Yeah.
so beautiful, but nah.
Hmm. Okay, let's see. Let me see. I just want to make sure it's like nothing you haven't already covered because a lot of them are about the social media promotion. We covered that. Sorry guys, I'm just trying not to find repeats because I know we are getting near to the usual end of our stream, so I'm just trying to see if there's any leftovers that you want to ask Lex. And of course, we're going to be doing this kind of stuff again, so don't feel like if you're just watching the replay of this, you won't have another chance to ask
Yeah, we
Lex
can totally
questions
do another Ask Flex. That'd be fun.
because we could totally hang out and do this kind of stuff pretty much any weekend for me, and of course,
Yeah,
whenever her schedule allows. So we could just sit here and chill and talk art and horror. I think we could make it a
that'd be so
series if you
fun.
guys wanted to. You guys could ask us questions. Um, okay. Do you use any music to inspire some of your art? I know as an artist, if I'm painting in a quiet room, I cannot bring my piece to life. But if I have music on, I can. Do you go through the same struggle?
Hmm. Yeah, it really depends. There are some days where I zone out so hardcore when I go into a piece that there's nothing on. I'm just living in my brain for some reason. However,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time I have on like metal, like hardcore angel
Yeah.
maker type of stuff, and
Uh-huh.
I will, paint something cute and whimsical.
Yeah.
It really
I,
helps me focus.
I think that that's what really weirds people out is like they don't expect to have like all that metal in your headphones or whatever, and then this beautiful
Yeah.
piece comes out. It's like metal helps people stay calm in the time of
It does. It quiets
craziness.
my mind. I'm always
Hmm.
thinking of so many things at once. So if I hear a lot
Same.
of raging out, it calms me down.
Yeah, it's always stopped me from acting out in public. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like if that makes sense. Like instead of it helped me cope through it and put it into my art versus taking out on other people.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that's a
absolutely
skill that
understand.
that's a skill that we all need to learn these days. Um,
Yeah.
let's see here. I've been an artist for 20 years and I had never thought to do the creations like you do or even thought about having a brush. Then I sat there and looked and I actually do have two brushes that I use, Marty and Fieldman. I'm like, Marty Fieldman from Megadeth? Really? Is that what you say? Oh yeah, it's Kathy. She's a Megadeth fan. And she's just like, I never noticed that before in the 20 years of painting. Oh my gosh, this is
Wow.
so cool. I want to see how many artists do the same thing. That's awesome. Did you
I
like mention
literally made a
that?
post asking that the other day. I was
Yeah,
like,
so
who else
you
just
should
paints with
follow
one brush?
her. You should follow her. She posts a lot of that stuff. She knows more about the painting stuff than I do. I don't know anything about that. That's her. That's her ordeal. I recommend the follows, guys. You can ask
I'm
her
very
anything
much
on there.
self-taught too, guys. Although I've been
Hmm.
like creating my entire existence, I really had to just
Hmm.
figure it out. But also I
Hmm.
did get into college. Um, I got into Pennsylvania College of Art and Design when I was 17 on Christmas
Hmm.
Eve. I never went because I was scared. I had so much anxiety, but I did get into college. I had to
Yeah.
submit my portfolio and an essay.
Oh, nice. Congratulations on that. See, and that's where this is a good question that came up on that. Be like, my mom wants me to go to art school, but I don't know about it. I feel like it's going to make me freeze when it comes to creating. I'm mostly
Hmm.
self taught as my high school didn't really have a good art program, but I took some at a local community center. I've been recommended for art school. However, I don't know if it's just the anxiety getting to me or if I feel like it's better to just try it on my own. Should I
Hmm.
just pursue one or the other? Oh, this is hard to
Honestly,
say.
it's so crazy that that question even came up because oh my gosh, I can honestly say college isn't for everybody. However, if you are really looking to like smooth out your art skills, I mean, art college is nothing but art. You are literally going to
Mm-hmm.
be eating, sleeping, living, breathing it. You're going to learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
Art history class. You can be a muralist, a person that
Mm-hmm.
goes around painting murals. You could be a director at an art museum. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
different things that you can do and can go into if you go to art college, and a lot of times they'll help place you places. So
Mm-hmm.
I say, if you have the opportunity to set your anxiety aside and go learn some things and
Mm-hmm.
become an even better artist, art college is definitely the way to go. I mean, you can do
Mm-hmm.
it on your own, but I would say refining those skills, getting that opportunity, take it,
Mm-hmm.
take the opportunity.
They just mentioned that it's also a full ride. Do not waste that opportunity with it being a
Dude,
full ride.
do it.
Don't do
I
it.
wish that I would have gone to art college. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would have been way further on my journey if I did.
Yeah, in my case, I went to college for a little bit, and then I dropped out because I feel like I wasn't learning, and then I ended up going the business management trade route, and that helped me on my side of things because I know both
Yeah.
worlds, promotion and the art side. That worked for me, but I also
Yeah.
didn't get a full ride. Had I gotten a
Yeah.
full ride and would have
Oh,
been
I
able
didn't
to
have a
be
full ride
like,
either. I agree with that. I
yeah,
agree.
if I didn't have a full, because I didn't have a full ride, I think that's what led to my decision to take a different course, which was
Yeah.
better for my wallet and better suited to what I wanted to do. Do not waste your full ride. I know it's
Especially when it's something
scary.
that you love to do. I mean, I
Mhm.
did end up going to online college, and I'm still
Mhm.
technically in college. No one really knows that.
Mhm.
But it's not for art, it's for
Yeah.
becoming a pastor, which no one has any clue that I
Yeah.
even that I
Yeah.
even have that side. But if it's
Yeah.
something that you love to do and it's a full ride, do it.
Yeah. Don't let the self-made people discourage you from going
Mm-mm.
to college.
No,
I
I would
see a
go
lot
back
of that.
too. I would
I
go back
see
for art if I could.
I see a lot of that in the self-made. Like, I preach that college isn't for everybody because it's not.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of self-made people that look down on the people that did go to college first to hone their skills. Well, maybe that was the only place that they could. Maybe they didn't have,
Hmm.
like, I've been fortunate enough to have supportive people around me that are like, okay, let her go and practice what she needs to. Not everybody has that. And so if this college thing is the one place where you could do that, and like Lex says, there's so many
Yeah.
things where they will place you, go for it and keep in touch with us and let us know what you
Hmm.
decide and show us what you decide and
You'll learn
everything like
so
that.
much. And a lot of things I would have learned in art college, I already knew how to do. So that was another
Mhm.
reason why I didn't go. But if you
Mhm.
really want to learn all these different things and you really can't grasp them and you need the extra support, go
Mhm.
for it. It's worth it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Don't think that just because we have to be self-made that you have to and it makes you less of an artist for going to college. Don't
No,
do
I
that.
support it.
Don't do that.
I
You
always
heard
support education.
Lex has spoken. Listen, listen. She's spoken. Thank you. That helped me out a lot. It's just really difficult because my family wants me to go to school to be a doctor instead.
Oh. Yes,
Okay.
my mom wanted me to go to school to become a nurse. I understand. But do what
Yeah.
you love.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah,
do
because
what you love.
at the end of the day, you're gonna have to deal with your life, right?
Hmm.
And parents may get disappointed in some choices and they might hold it over your head the whole time. Trust me, I never hear the end of some things.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, when you show that you've stuck with something, especially art, we as creatives get told all the time, you're going to grow out of it. You're going to grow out. How many
Hmm.
times, I'm sure you've heard that too, Lex, from
I just
somebody. Might
always
not,
told I could
you
only
know?
become an art teacher. That was the thing in the 90s.
Oh, jeez. That's so
You're
ridiculous.
not famous as an artist until you're dead. No one wants your work. And that was the big thing.
And here you are, it's paying your bills. Like, huh?
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
alive and kicking. It's paying my bills, so I don't
Hmm.
know what but it's just you gotta you gotta just be ready for that. It's never fun having to
Do for
explain
you.
yourself to people.
There. Yeah, your family's not the one that's going to have to live with this decision for the rest of their lives. You are. This is you. This is your life. This is your future. Do what you love.
Morgana says, I'm a tarot reader, and I've heard that. Yeah, like, that's the thing.
I
Like,
understand.
there's always going to be people out there that are going to say crap about what you do, and there's going to be
Mhm.
people who could be, like, I'm not saying ignore constructive criticism by any means, because there could be really good people out there just being like, think about this, think about it from this angle, maybe this will help you get to where. If they're being like that and genuine, that's different. Take a listen, because they might see something you don't, because you're blinded by what you want to do. I've had
Mhm.
mentors be like, yo, pull it in, pull it in, girl. Think about this
Yeah.
first before you do it. And it actually made things better. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Constantly
Yes.
dealing with the people, you're going to grow out of it. You're going to grow out of it. The only
And
thing that
never feel bad about that.
no. And
Never feel
eventually
bad
they
if you have
will
to
come
work a
around.
second job either to support what you love. Never feel bad
Yeah.
about that either.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going online too. Like, oh my God, I'm not a
Hmm.
real artist because I have to get a second job. No, you're
Not
still
true.
an artist. Unfortunately, we still have to live. Like,
Hmm.
I help out with my family's small business because I have to, and it helps everybody.
Make
So,
sure you can support yourself. Like don't go
hmm
under doing what you love either.
and Morgana says, I never regretted going after my passion. Exactly.
Hmm.
That's the thing. So I know this person's a little bit on the younger side. They're just about to graduate high school, so like
Oh
it's
my goodness.
it's
Yes, please do
difficult.
what you love. Become an artist. Do what you love.
Hmm Yes. And especially because it's a full ride, you're not going to get that again. And your parents might get mad that you didn't go be a doctor, but they might see you
Hmm.
better.
Prove
Not,
them
not see you,
wrong.
not
Prove them
see you
wrong.
better. How do I word this? Not see you better, but they might come around to the art school thing, seeing that it's a
They
full
will.
ride and you took the extra step to find that center. You mentioned you went to an art center because your high school didn't have a lot of art programs. You took the
Hmm.
initiative, and if they see that, I'm sure they'll back you, especially if you show them that you have a game plan. Parents always want to see their kid have some sort of game plan. It doesn't mean you have to have everything in
They
order.
care about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming from I probably wouldn't be giving you this advice if I wasn't in my 30s.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Younger version
Same.
of me would be like, screw what they say, do what you want, girl. We all have that, but coming from adult adult life, I now
We've been
see
through it.
why. Yeah, we've been through it and all that kind of stuff. So do
Dude,
it and
my first two tattoos, my mom said she was so mad at me. I have painted angels on my
mhm.
wrist, which is my business name. My mom was like, "You're never going to be able to do anything when you grow up." And she also thought that I would never be able to become an artist. And now
Mhm.
my business is called Painted Angels and they still are tattooed on my wrist. So definitely
Yeah.
do what you love.
Yeah.
People
And
will come
and
around eventually when they see how well you're doing because you chased your dream and you're
yes.
happy.
Yes, I,
Don't
I
be
think like
miserable.
I think like a lot of times families don't realize their concern comes off as judgment or
Well,
like kind
people
of
just, I think they
causing a
don't want to see
bridge.
you fail and be like in
Hmm
poverty because you were chasing your dream, which is understandable, but also they should
hmm
believe in you. And you
Yeah.
need to believe in yourself more than they believe in you.
Yep. And that's what we said. Keep a level head. Make sure you can provide for yourself. Don't get discouraged if you
Yes.
have to be a waitress for a little while alongside doing your
Hmm.
art, especially when you're going to college. You're gonna have to
Yes.
make sure you're stable. Don't be discouraged, and absolutely don't listen to people telling you how to do it.
And make good
Unless
decisions. Make
un,
good decisions.
yes, unless it's somebody who's, like I said, somebody that's been through it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Been through it and worked through it, and they could be a mentor to you. That's the only time you should sit back and be like, okay, what are they saying? But
Yeah.
there have been tons of times when I know I've had friends who are coming from a good place, like Morgana says right here, they just want you to have success and not see you fail. You need to take a risk and
Yeah.
maybe even fail first. Absolutely.
Yes.
I've failed a few times. I've had to revamp stuff. And I feel like they kind of preach on us as creatives,
Hmm.
like, if you don't succeed the first time, you're not going to succeed at all. No, you're going to fail sometimes, and it's actually
Hmm.
funny after a while because you're going to look
It's
back and
hard to
laugh
see
at
your
it.
kid fail. It's very
Yeah.
hard to see your kid fail, but it's also nice for your kid to prove you wrong and show you that they can do what they love and make a living.
Yeah.
Definitely go for it.
Okay, so they said that they're gonna go ahead and submit their portfolio. They're gonna go off and work on that
Oh,
essay now too, because they have to do that as well. So
yes.
I hope that
You got
helped.
this.
I hope that helped. Okay, and this is another question. Do you think in another life that you were a painter as well, or do you think that you were something else?
That's a good question. I definitely feel like I've lived so many lives. I feel like in any of them, I was definitely some type of creator, some type of
Mm-hmm.
artistic being for sure. I don't know who I was or what I was, but I definitely had to have worked with my hands for sure.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Chris was just checking in with me.
That's
He's
okay.
stuck. He's stuck, so Chris works at a jail, so I like to see dings
Oh,
that
that's
he's
cool.
okay. And okay, let's see. We got a couple more because I know it's getting late on both of our ends. So let's see. We usually end our streams at 11. There's 5 minutes to
I
11.
know
So
we've just been chilling.
if you have anything else, and if you guys want us to do more of these, where we just kick back and it could just be any questions you have, we could talk
Yeah.
music, movies, art, anything. Let us know, and we will make sure this happens because I think it's really fun and it's a way for us to connect with both of our communities over here. So it'd be fun.
Yes.
Um, okay, let's see. Have you ever done Rick and Morty?
Oh,
And
yes.
if
I've
so,
done
what
so much Rick and Morty.
they asked if it was that was a fun one to do because they've been trying to do that as they're commissioned for it all the time, but they just can't get inspired to do Rick and Morty.
Um, I definitely think Rick and Morty was very fun to do.
Hmm.
I haven't really been asked about it much. It became a little controversial, as we know, but
Yeah,
it I yeah, I mean, I love anything that's kind of trippy, and I feel like that show is super duper trippy, and if you watch it
yeah.
and inspire yourself a little bit, you get into a zone. So, I think it was super fun to do. Just watch the show a little bit, watch some
Mhm.
trippy renditions on YouTube and then go into it.
Yeah. Speaking of trippy, have you ever seen the movie Fantastic Planet from the 70s?
I don't know, maybe.
When we're done here, I'm going to send you the trailer. I think that you would absolutely love it and can use it for inspiration of
Yeah,
art.
send it to me. Oh gosh, I love doing
It's
that.
I I stumbled upon it years ago for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. I just stumbled upon it. I was like, okay, this looks weird. I'm going to pop it on. It
It
is
sounds
like
familiar.
chef's
Definitely
kiss.
send it to me.
But yeah, okay, Morgana said she's up for more if we do more of these. So we'll plan some of these and we'll get it going so you guys could come hang out with us and all that kind of stuff. I'm also learning this program I have, so like if there's anything that you guys would want us to check out video wise, I could screen share it and we could be
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be
doing
super
that
fun.
too. I think that'd be fun. Okay, any more questions as we get near the end here because my butt's starting to hurt from sitting in this chair. I'm getting a new chair soon so I could sit here for hours.
Yay.
But for now, I don't have that luxury.
Oh my gosh, my painting chair is so comfy.
It's like bouncy. See, I have no bounce
Yeah,
in
I
my
found it
chair
on the side of the
anymore.
road one day. It's a great chair.
That's the best way to find it, especially if it's from an old person's house. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're throwing out all that free stuff. Like that's where I found this one.
Yeah, this
But
thing is broken
unfortunately,
in.
unfortunately, it's all tattered. My cat keeps tearing it apart. So I need
Aw,
I need I need a proper chair. The table that my computer sits on is an Art Deco table from the 50s.
that's awesome.
Not 50s. The Art Deco time period. I don't know why I said 50s. Oh, 50s because the person that redid it painted it with like 50s style, but
Oh,
it's
cool.
actually a dinner table. And so like I need a chair that will let me like be up but not
Yeah.
cuz like if I don't like I'm like down here and it gets weird, so but all right. We got room for like two more. Reminds me of Lana Del Rey. That's what Morgana said. Let's see. Okay. what is a must-have in your creation space? For example, for me, I have to have my plushy toy owl by my side. Don't judge me. I'm 46 years old and still love my plushie. No
Aw,
judgment here.
a must-have. Um, well, I have a painting rag that I use every single time. It's like a pillowcase
Hmm.
that just has paint all over it. And then, I don't know. I think that that's really the only thing that I get really touchy about and take with me like everywhere. There's a bear back here. This is Chester Barrington.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I really just need my chair.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for me too. For me, oh, I don't know. It depends on what I'm creating that day because I work like a chaotic mess. Like those like weirdos that like have everything spread out and like they're like spread out like spiders and they're doing like things over here and then things over here and then they go back here. That's how I work.
I feel
Chris
that.
calls me being in tarantula mode when I do that because I'm like literally like I've got several tables and I just take the chair, go bing, 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 and I stretch
Dude,
out and do weird
yes. I
stuff.
work on like
So
five paintings at once. I agree.
yeah, so like it depends what I'm working at, but I think like for me, the main thing that I have to do isn't a physical thing, but self-patience.
Mm,
Because I get so excited for the end product that sometimes I try to rush myself, and every time you rush yourself, stuff does not turn out good. So, yeah, you end up, talking to clay and stuff like that. So, and
yes.
yes, guys, I am going to be bringing some things to the live stream where I'm actually sculpting. Maybe one time Lex and I could come on here when we're actually working on art and talk with you guys while we do it. I don't know. I'd be down for that. uh
Yeah.
let's let's see. Okay, we got time for maybe one or two more. Cuz I know it's getting late and we got Monday tomorrow. I have to be up at
Oh my
6:45.
gosh.
Um
No.
What is the favorite metal you like to listen to while painting? You mentioned it before, but
Yeah.
I didn't catch what you said. Angel something or another? And what is a
Angel
song that you
Maker.
recommend?
Okay, so Angel Maker is pretty brutal. That's a little
Mm-hmm.
more like satanic type of metal, but
Mm-hmm.
I mostly like grunge metal. So I would
Mm-hmm.
recommend Norma Jean, the entire album, Bless the Martyr, Kiss the Child. That's my favorite album. I will run through that whole entire thing. Very grungy, very artsy, very, it's really good. So Norma Jean, entire Bless the Martyr Kiss the Child album.
Oh, you're asking me now too? Oh boy. This is hard because again, it depends what I'm working on. Because honestly, if I'm working on my scariest pieces, I'm listening to disco music. Like I Will Survive and all that kind of crap. And then when I'm working on my more like calmer pieces, I'm listening to like Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that. So
Oh my
it
gosh,
really
yes.
depends. It really depends. It's really weird and it really depends on what thing I'm going for. Because I find listening to happier music when I'm creating something creepy actually makes things more creepy because you wouldn't expect happy music to inspire that. So Morgana asked, does music inspire your art? And that will be the final question for tonight, guys. So,
Most definitely. Music
mhm.
inspires my art. Everything inspires my art, my dreams, things that I see outside, but definitely interpreting music is so fun.
Yeah.
It's
I,
very inspirational.
I think that's what's amazing about art in general is nobody has the same interpretation. So, like,
Yeah.
you and I could listen to the same song and have it touch us in different ways and be like,
Yes.
oh, this is what I think about it, which that might actually be something fun to do on one of our live streams.
Yeah, that would be cool
Play
too.
play like a song and then be like, okay, what did we each get out of it or something? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to touch base and plan these things.
We shall plan things out.
Yeah, for you guys. And if you guys have any feedback on what you want us to do on our discussions, let us know. We'll do that. But
Yes.
yeah, that's what I never understand. And even when I do my reactions now, I keep telling people, everyone's always like, oh, why don't, we don't know what genre of music you like. It's not about that. My reactions are you sending me something you want me to listen to and, sharing that piece of you and, talking talking about it. What do we take from it? I don't want to just listen to my genre. That's the whole misleading about doing reactions. It's to expose myself to other music and touch base with you guys. And, you'll hear me
Hmm.
say that over and over again because a lot of times you're like, we don't know what you want to listen to. I'm like, as long as there's no auto tune in it, there's no mumble rap. I can't do mumble rap. And it's not like the Beatles. I'm okay. But for some reason, the Beatles, like, causes my brain to go into fight or flight, so it's not a happy feeling. Morgana said certain songs make me want to create, but it's usually writing for me.
I love writing. I don't
See,
release any of my writings, but I do love writing.
when I write, I'm always listening to either Baroque or classical music because I feel like that captures it so much. I feel it when I'm
Mhm.
writing anything. I actually handwrite all my novels first before I type them up, which drives people crazy because they're like, why wouldn't you just do one or the other? But it's like, I just like handwriting them first because it's coming from me. When I put it on the
Yeah.
computer, that's like editing zone. When it's coming on the paper, that's from me. You know what I mean? So like it's the raw material. And Chris picks on me because he's just like, if you put a powdered wig on, you look like one of those old composers. Because I compose music too. I just never released anything because I'm super hypercritical of it and I end up deleting everything that I make. It's a problem I am trying to overcome, guys. Don't come at me. You'll see stuff
That's
soon.
all we can do.
But like, he always picks on me. I'm like, well, when I'm creating, I'm handwriting stuff like that. I honestly picture myself. I've always done this. Picture myself in a castle up on a mountaintop by the sea, and there's like a giant moon. And I've always pictured myself whenever I'm in the creative zone. That is where my headspace goes. And Chris is like, I
Yeah.
know she's in her creative zone. Like I gotta let her go. But yeah, so I could totally see songs make you want to write and paint and do everything and just make you feel happy. It doesn't matter what it is, really.
Yeah.
But on the same thing, I read this interesting book about the effects of music on the brain, and there are some music out there that actually can mess with your brain in a bad way. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why that's why we all have a genre for ourselves. So like it's never good to just piss on someone's parade because they like a band that you don't, because the music you like might not be good for them and vice versa. So I've had to learn that though. I used to be kind of a metal snob when I was a cocky teenager, but weren't we all? We were full of bleh, we were full of piss and vinegar in our teen years, and now we're like the chillest adults ever. So
It's true.
thank you guys for joining us. We've been on for 2 hours
Yes.
tonight.
That was so fun.
That was fun. We're gonna come back and do this again, and we'll come up with cool ideas to make them interesting so it's not just interview style. I just wanted to take this time to introduce Lex because I've had Nick on a few times. We've known each other over the years. I want to take the time to introduce Lex properly because she is the co host to our stuff, and, just get this time for you guys to get to know her more too as you see the team and the panel and everything like that. They're both
Yes.
talented in what they do, and remember, when you're supporting me, you're also supporting them as well. We're trying to create a community of chill people to just come, chill, and relax. That's what we
Yes.
do. So, December
Super
9th.
chill and relaxing.
December
Yes,
9th,
December 9th. Spooky
9 p.m.
movie.
We also have our friend Devana joining the panel this
I'm so
time.
excited.
It's her first time. She's also a small business. She runs Z World Gifts, I believe, is how she rebranded. Um,
Yeah.
she's going to be with us, and it's her first time doing movie commentary. She's really nervous. I told her not to be.
Aw, she's
So
gonna
she
do
will be
great.
joining us as well. We have a lot of cool stuff coming too, so we will see you guys later. And enjoy your night. Happy Monday. that's coming
Yes,
in an
follow your
hour.
dreams.
Yes, girl, go to art school.
Go to art school. Follow your
Go to art
dreams.
school.
Who cares what anyone
Lex
says? Keep
Lex has
posting.
spoken. You
Post your
heard her.
art.
Yeah.
I hope I see your art. Tag us.
Yes. Tag us and let us know what you should. Wow.
Post.
Yes, you got it. You could tell us near the end of the night because I'm stumbling over my words. Oh, this is a weird question that somebody just asked me. Why do you end up talking so fast? Listen, my dad used to be an auctioneer, so when I was a kid, I used to think that's how people talked. So I actually had to train myself to talk like normal. That's
I
why.
agree. I can talk really fast, but I try to think, try.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know
Words.
that. Yeah, yeah. My dad did auctioneering, and I would always. I was a quiet kid, so I would just soak it up. So I used to think I can't do it anymore, but I used to be able to do the auctioneer thing because I was
Oh,
around
that's
it
so
so much.
fun.
But I would talk like that, and people are like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, "You don't understand." And they had to, they had to like literally tell me in school to slow down. They thought I had a speech problem for the longest time. And no, it was
Aw.
just because I was around it so much. I just thought that's how people talked. Nick says I talk fast if I get into a topic I really, really enjoy. Guilty as charged. That's why you guys have no idea how many takes of Chamber of Horrors and Twisted Tales I have to do for it to be where you guys can understand what I'm saying. My reactions, I try not to overload you guys. But yeah, it's crazy.
It
All right.
happens.
And okay. Yep. Everybody says good night. So
Good
we will see
night,
you guys next time.
guys.
We love you. Stay weird, stay
Bye. Love
spooky.
you.